Hey everyone, it's Pixelade here and welcome back to the channel. I'm here with another Paralives Q&A/discussion video. Before we get into things, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching my content. I just want to let you know that I really appreciate every single one of you here, and I feel like I don't say that enough. So thank you guys so much, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. So a little disclaimer before we get into today's Q&A discussion. Not all of the topics in the title are features that are confirmed or denied coming to the game, most of which are just topics of discussion. There are a few confirmed features in this video though, and I'm excited to share them with you. But I want to put that disclaimer out at the beginning of every single video just so you guys don't get your hopes up. Some of the topics discussed in today's video will be school buses, grocery stores, outdoor activities, careers, music instruments, wildlife, sports, shops and malls, elderly gameplay features, and much more that I cannot fit into the title. Enough rambling, let's jump into things. We kick things off with a tweet from Brandy. They tweet Leia, in Paralives, if you eventually decide to have a cult, do you think they'll all be in one DLC pack or separate ones like in The Sims? Leia responds, we don't know yet if we're gonna have paranormals in the game. If we do, it's more likely going to be in one big DLC. We touched base with this in a previous Q&A discussion video, but now we have a little bit more information, so I guess it's safe to say that we shouldn't expect it in a future free patch update. These types of things will probably be in a paid DLC, and I hope we do eventually see them. I'm definitely not going to be the one that sits on here and tries to convince you that occults shouldn't be added. I personally do not prefer them, but I know that there are vast amounts of players out there that do care for occult gameplay, so I would love to see it come for them. It would be nice to see an approach to this, kind of like how the Sims team introduced Supernatural with The Sims 3. Fairies, werewolves, and witches were all introduced with that pack, and of course for the price of $40 US, you got those occults and tons of features, gameplay, and objects that come with all of them. I can say I do like vampires in The Sims 4. I do like how they made it a game pack because they were really able to focus in and really give us a detailed system around them. But if you think about it, if there's a game pack for every single occult and they really dive deep into each one and give us all these features, that's going to rack up the price. Game packs are $20 US, so we have one for vampires. If we get one for werewolves, witches, and fairies, that's $80 US. Pretty much double the price of The Sims 3 Supernatural, which was an expansion pack. So I guess it just really comes down to what you prefer. If you prefer to pay a little bit more and really have a more detailed system for each, or pay less, have all the occults in one pack, but more surface level gameplay, then that's an option too. But it sounds like they're not going to be divided up in game pack style for Paralives. Brandy also tweeted Leia, in Paralives, will there be things like grandparents telling their grandkids about the good old days, crocheting sweaters, going to bingo, stuff like that? Leia responds, I would love to have some dedicated gameplay features for the elderly. Not confirmation, not denial, but showing interest in that sort of gameplay. And these are things I've been wanting in The Sims 4 for a very long time. So seeing these kinds of things, especially in the base game, would be really cool. I could go on for days about that. Rocking chairs, canes, the potential for nursing homes. I know that those things probably won't come in the base game, but they could always be added in later on. But bingo for sure, that has to come. Ethan West on Twitter tweets Leia, hi Leia, I just want to ask if any shops or shopping malls is going to be added into the game. It would be cool to go shopping for clothes and groceries. Thank you for you and your team for working so hard on this awesome game. Leia responds, shops are confirmed, which we have talked about in the past. Don't know about malls yet. No confirmation or denial on that either. How do you guys feel about malls? Is that something you'd like to see? I'm honestly indifferent about it. The concept of malls could be cool, whether it's, a giant like plaza mall or a little tiny strip mall, like a shopping center where it's outdoors. stores, but I wouldn't be against it. It would really give you the ability to have multiple shops or restaurants together in one specific area. Up next, Kaylee on Twitter tweets, Alex, Leia, and Roxanne, one thing I was thinking about how is in the game I will not name. Whenever I add piercings or glasses, etc. to my character and go to the next outfit type, it never stays, and it's just tedious to add many piercings over and over again. I get makeup changing with outfits, but an option to keep face mods the same would be a lifesaver. I know exactly what they're talking about. Leia responds, hey, thanks, I take note of that. I'm sure that bugs and glitches will be worked through before the game is released, and even if there is a beta version sometime in the future, then of course it can be tested before it's released to the public. And I bring that up because there is actually a question in this video about a potential beta release, or at least interest in the fact. This next one's blunt and simple. Bryce K on Twitter tweets, Leia, will there be sports in the game? Leia responds, yes. What kind of sports? We don't know yet, but I hope the range is vast. Baseball, soccer, or football, American football too, and even hockey would be nice. List other sports you'd like to see added into this game down in the comments. Josh on Twitter tweets, Leia, I know it's not a priority, but with weddings, would there be outfits? I know that sounds silly, but I've not heard anything about wedding dresses or suits. Leia responds, hi, we haven't decided anything yet, but I really want to bring the full wedding experience if I can. Proposal, dress huntings with everyone crying because she's so beautiful. Oh my God, the all thing. I can't confirm anything yet though. We've talked about weddings, I think it was actually in my previous video, but I wanted to add this in because Leia's touching base on it just a bit more. Nothing confirmed or denied once again, but these are all features that are possible and we could see in the base game. And of course, with any feature, the more you guys request it, the higher its chance of it appearing in the game at launch. So if you'd like to see this kind of thing, like a very detailed wedding system, then definitely let the developers know either on Twitter or in the public Discord. A link will be pinned in the comment section below. Tara's on Twitter tweets, hi Leia, I wonder if on Paralives the saves will be like in The Sims 3 where you cannot jump around many different households, or in The Sims 4 you can. Story progression is so important to me, so I'd love Paralives to work something like The Sims 3 way. Leia responds, we don't know yet, but I don't see why you couldn't play with different households if you wanted to do it. Not too much of a response with this, but we've talked previously about how the world is going to be open, and it sounds like they are going to focus at least on what could be a somewhat detailed story progression mode, so I wouldn't see why this wouldn't be in the base game, or at least I wouldn't see why it wouldn't be easy to, jump between households, multiple households. Winnie B on Twitter tweets, Leia, I was wondering if lot traits or perks would be implemented into the game that shall not be mentioned. I feel like this is over and over again. Everyone keeps saying that. We know what the game is at this point, we really do. But in the game that shall not be mentioned, tiny living perks are very useful. Sorry if this has been asked before. I'm sorry, at this point it's just funny to me. Everyone says in the game that shall not be mentioned. Just mention it, we know what it is. It's The Sims 4. Oh guys, I'm getting a laugh out of some of these. I love you guys so much. I feel like most of these people asking questions could be coming from my videos, so I'm sorry developers that I'm doing this to y'all. I just like having these discussions, and I know that you guys like watching these, and I want to keep you guys, happy and excited, but also keep things realistic and keep everyone grounded, because there are a lot of things that probably won't make the game, and that's okay. It's going to be very different from The Sims. Leia responds, we don't know yet. We are trying to make Paralives unique. You will not find every gameplay feature that are in The Sims. Our goal is to create a new game and bring new ideas in the world of simulation games. I am all for different, guys. I really am. Because at the end of the day, when this game comes out, I know some people are gonna see Paralives as a Sims replacement, but not me. I'm just gonna see it as another awesome life simulation game to play and enjoy. So I can, go back and forth between my favorites, The Sims 2, The Sims 3, The Sims 4, and Paralives. It just gives me more options and more ways to tell the stories that I wanna tell. The Potato, loving the username, tweets, Leia, I have 3 questions. Number 1, do you think you could add animals like for zoos, rabbits, and and squirrels. Number 2, do you think you will add caravans to live or sleep or just go on holiday? Last question, do you think you add like countries so in the airplane you fly? Leia responds, hi, for now we don't know yet about other animals than those confirmed, which are cats, dogs, and horses if you do not know. I would love to have some wildlife around, being able to see a deer, raccoons, maybe birds flying around. I think it could bring some extra life to rural areas. I'm happy that the developers are showing interest in this because in my opinion, this is kind of a necessity. It would be really cool if your paras could interact with wildlife. If that's added in later down the line, I'm okay with that. But at launch, it would still be cool just to have them in the game for you to see, even if you can't interact with them. Minnie on Twitter tweets, Leia, hey, I was wondering if there will be different musical instruments included in the base game of Paralives. It would also be cool if there was a music school where para folks could work there as teachers and teach their students. Thank you. Really good question. I love music myself. I produce and play piano, so it would be really cool to see that kind of thing in Paralives. But Leia responds, hi, we don't know yet about the instruments, but I would personally love to be able to have bands in the game, in the garage, then on scene, etc. Music school could be a nice touch. Maybe you could be in one building with other activities like dancing or painting lessons. Okay, I don't expect these things in the base game, but this kind of thing would actually fit well in a paid DLC, the same way that Supernaturals do. Evan on Twitter tweets, Leia, hey, in Paralives, will there be active careers or will they be rabbit holes? This was confirmed previously, but in case you didn't know, they will be rabbit holes. Leia confirms at first it will most likely be rabbit holes. The touch here is at first, so it's possible that eventually, either in DLC or a free update, we don't know, that active careers could eventually come, and if they do, then that is awesome. One of my favorite Sims 3 packs is ambitions. Having my sim be a firefighter or a ghost hunter was so fun and one of the most memorable moments to me from The Sims 3. And it made it even better because the world was open, so if you had 2 Sims doing their active jobs at the same time, you could just jump between them with no loading screens. It was awesome. Petty Betty Sims on Twitter, I love the username, tweets, Leia, hey Leia, I'm not sure if woman asked you this before, sorry if I'm repeating. The number one thing that annoys me with The Sims 4 is every time I'm throwing a special event, no one is ever sitting down. Will I be able to make my guests sit? You know what's funny is this was an issue for me in The Sims 3. In The Sims 4, the Sims are actually pretty good with this, but I have noticed a lot of players having issues with guests sitting. Leia responds, we will make sitting the new trend. Referring to what I said earlier, I think that small details like this and bugs and glitches and stuff will definitely be worked out before the game launches. Marie on Twitter tweets, Alex, Paralives, and Leia, I'm really looking forward to Paralives, but could you please tell me if you are gonna add such gameplay features as the outdoor games for children and other paras? For example, play and catch or hide and seek games, badminton sets, etc. Leia responds, we don't know yet. Building forts and actually playing outside is so important for kids. Maybe they can meet their neighbor kids that way and become best friends. More on that subject later. Okay, so it's possible that could come. Yoru on Twitter tweets, Alex, Roxanne, and Leia, I was wondering how would cooking work? Like would the parafolk just go to the kitchen and cook, or would they need to get ingredients first? Like going to the grocery store or something? Thank you for your hard work. Now before I go any further, I loved how this worked in The Sims 2. You could cook, but you had to stock up your fridge with groceries. At least that's how I can remember it, because I haven't played Sims 2 in like a hot minute. But I remember that there was like a stock level for the fridge, and when it ran low, you could order grocery delivery, or you could go to the store and actually like pick out groceries, buy them, come home, your sim puts them in the fridge, and then of course the fridge is restocked. Absolutely loved that, and hope that something similar to that comes to Paralives, or maybe something even better. But Leia responds, I think for now both are possible. Stores are confirmed in the game, so you could go to the store and actually buy them, maybe get things for a special recipe. Thank you for your support. Okay, so I don't know why I just went on that little rant, because stores are coming. They haven't said anything specifically about grocery stores, but this kind of confirms it. If you're going to a store to buy food, it's pretty much a grocery store. Wow guys, this is gonna be really exciting. This next one is kinda long, but it is full of amazing ideas of features that we possibly could see eventually. And I am gonna read it just so we can brainstorm. Emma on Twitter tweets a series of tweets. Hi Leia, I wanna make a thread for gameplay suggestions. There's no pressure here. Don't want it to be bland and boring like another game. Oh God, here we go again. Like when paras go anywhere, they have to take the car and drive there. Maybe there's some traffic and streets aren't bare. Make it easier for paras to make friends. Have them go to grocery stores when they need food, which is confirmed by the way. Have them open counters / drawers and get utensils, bowls, pots, etc. Yes, we had that in The Sims 2 and it was so awesome. Oh my gosh, it's always small details. It's always the small details. Have snow depth if possible. I was talking about this in an earlier video as well. I vouch for this 100%. Seasons in The Sims 4 is awesome. I love it to death, but one thing that does get me is the snow depth. Without the snow depth, it just doesn't feel like winter to me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I grew up in an area where we get a lot of snow in the winter time, or just the fact that I love snow in general. But there's a huge difference between having a light coating of snow on everything and then being completely buried in it and seeing any outdoor object just completely covered, like outdoor patio furniture, grills, and seeing your Sims or para trudge through a foot of snow would also be cool, and there could be specific animations for that if the snow depth is high. Of course, if there is depth. For school / work, maybe they have options to walk to school / go to bus stops in front of the house. Maybe they drive / take subway or walk, or have parent / sibling drive them to school or work versus disappearing in front of the house. Yes, we talked about this in the last video. Transportation is a must in my opinion. I just can't stand the fact that Sims walk out in front of their house and vanish and appear completely across the world as if they walked across water. No, my Sims aren't Jesus. They're not walking across the Pacific Ocean. Maybe an option for private or boarding school. Have after school activities that they have to go to a rec center / studio to attend. Also things like go to the doctor's office for checkups, and if sick, like common cold or flu. Ultrasounds, sonograms, x-rays for broken bones. Not sure if serious illnesses would be over PG. And have patients, nurses, receptionists, doctors within hospitals, and doctors' offices. All very good suggestions. They then continue and have good pregnancy gameplay. This is very important. Have paras interact with the belly, toddlers are curious, siblings excited for new siblings, maybe jealous if they're more territorial. Maybe there can be minor complications with pregnancy. Maybe mom has to be on bed rest towards the end of term. Maybe there's premature babies, maybe miscarriages. I don't know about that. That could be a little too far, but if we eventually get script mods, I wouldn't doubt something like that being eventually added. Not that I would want that though. I don't know, there are a lot of features I want, but I feel like there's a line you shouldn't cross, and that is kind of coming close to it, and everyone has a different opinion on that. It's definitely like one of those controversial topics, so I don't see that coming to the game. At least I don't see them adding that right away, and they probably won't ever add it. What is your opinion on that? Things like abortions or miscarriages. Would you want something like that to come in the base game, or even in like a future update or paid DLC, or would you rather something like that be created by mod creators? That way it really is optional and it isn't forced upon everyone. Lastly, Emma tweets, have pregnant para plus spouse or significant other go to hospital when labor begins. Maybe labor lasts a while. They have to stay in the hospital while they have contractions. Maybe they have to walk around. Actually have dad or significant other as support instead of them standing there like they don't know what's happening or it doesn't concern them. Yeah, that too. Have family visits during labor. Possible have paras give birth with doctors and nurses, not like a machine that pulls a rag out of their stomach. Oh my goodness. Have to stay in the hospital for a day or two to watch baby and mom, have visiting hours that will let paras interact with parents and baby, let siblings visit baby. If baby is a preemie, they have to see them in an incubator in a different ward. Doctor and nurses check mom and baby. I like that. This is all super realistic stuff that I would love to see, but I doubt all of this would come in the base game, as that's a lot of programming. But I wouldn't mind waiting for these things to be added in some sort of mod if script mods end up becoming a thing, since they pretty much said that they don't plan on it at this time. And for those that don't know, script mods are the kind of mods that allow gameplay and interaction additions to the game. So without those, then you really can't have mods like that. So Leia did respond to a few of Emma's tweets. She tweets, "The mom to be screaming on the dad because it's his fault if she's in pain. The animations could be hilarious." Leia shows interest in the idea of having the baby stay at the hospital for a day or two after birth. She tweets, "Actually, I really like this part. This is a very important part of the process indeed. Curious to see what you think of this and if you think it should be added." Lastly, Leia responds to Emma, "It's an open world. It will have a dedicated building for school, and yes, young parents have to go there, taking the bus, being driven by their parents, or on foot." I guess buses are confirmed. I don't know if she's talking about like a public bus that your parent can take to school, or if they're actually gonna have dedicated school buses. This could have been mentioned before, but it's definitely very possible. Olivia on Twitter tweets, "Leia, Alex, and Roxanne, hi there. Will there be an option to have different funds for different family members?" This was something I was talking about in the past. There's a mod for this in The Sims, and it's actually really cool. For example, mom and dad's earnings go into family funds, and whatever money teenagers make can go into their own fund for when they move out. Thanks. Leia responds, "Hi Olivia, we don't know yet how we're going to design this. Being able to have pocket money could be super fun." I would like to see something like this. Like, this would be awesome. And also with this kind of thing, having allowance introduced for kids and teens too. Julia Poland on Twitter tweets, "Leia, Roxanne, and Paralives, hi. I have a question. That will be hard to keep paras alive? I mean about needs. I don't want to spend all day fulfilling the needs. Thanks for replied. I love your work." Leia responds, "Hi, we thought about some tools to help you custom your game, starting with a lot of money, etc. Being able to slow down your needs could be one of them for sure. We will tell you more about them later, not confirming until they are ready." Oh wow, so in-game tools that help you change these factors, so maybe they won't be mods. Would be very interesting to see this, considering I feel like motives in The Sims 2 decrease so fast and you spend most of your day keeping your sim happy, whereas in The Sims 4 I don't feel like they go down fast enough. I'd like to see some sort of in-game feature or setting where you can change that without cheats. Honor on Twitter tweets, "Leia, will there be beta version of this game that we can access way before the launch date?" Leia responds, "Hello, we don't know yet about that. If we do end up making one, it will probably be a Patreon reward." Interesting. Previously, they showed no interest in releasing a beta version, and I believe, don't quote me on this, one of the developers said it wasn't coming, but it looks like they're shedding light on the possibility. And I feel like giving it to patrons is definitely the way to go, considering that the people donating money to this project are part of the reason why it's continuing to evolve so fast. Not trying to discredit the developers at all. They're absolutely amazing and they're so talented, and I'm just so proud of them and everything that they've done so far. But I'm sure that the money raised through Patreon is also speeding the development process along as well. In this next tweet, Leia confirms that schools will most likely be rabbit holes, at least at launch, and also that buildings will be visible, kind of similar to how they are in The Sims 3, even though they are rabbit holes. In The Sims 4, for example, school really doesn't exist. You don't actually see that building physically. In this next tweet, Leia shows interest in bees and how they could have an impact on your Paris garden. She tweets, "Personally, I would love to have bees with an impact on your garden. Not sure if it's a priority, to be honest, but it would be lovely to have a garden full of life." I definitely put way too many questions into this video. It's going to be so long and super hard to edit, but we are finally down to the last one. Rika on Twitter tweets, "Leia, will there be apartments available for rent? If yes, will we be able to create them ourselves and also fixate the living space for individual households? Can para folks also also own real estates in order to rent them out to possible tenants? Leia responds, we don't know yet how we're gonna design our property system. I like the idea of being real estates though. I think it can add a lot to the game. Something like that could be added in a pack as well. All right guys, that's the end. This video is really long. It's at 39 minutes before I edit it. I don't know what it's going to come down to or how long it is as you're watching it right now, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it entertaining and informative, and I hope it has opened your mind up to the possibilities of what could be coming to this game in the future. Keyword could. Curious to hear your thoughts on any of the topics discussed today. Share them down in the comment section below. I'm gonna be taking a look and interacting with you guys later on tonight, probably posting this on April 22nd. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and add it to your favorites playlist right here on YouTube. Subscribe to become a little lemon and ding the bell next to it to receive notifications for any type of future uploads so you can be a part of the notification squad. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye everyone.